My name's Jim Miller, and I am an entrepreneur, and I have a video podcast I do called Bold Leadership Stories. I heard about Bright Business Model when I met Florin at a business event in Temecula, California. When I was up in San Jose, I worked with startups for about a year, and I went to probably 1,000 pitch events, and I saw owners, basically founders of companies, pitching to try to convince venture capitalists to invest in their companies. And a lot of them got funded, many of them didn't. And I think the real reason that they didn't was because they didn't have a plan. They didn't really have a focus or a momentum happening. And the VCs, they want to know two things. They want to get their money back, they want a return of their money, and then they want a return on their money. And unless you have got a really good plan, that doesn't work. And when I saw Florin's book and I started thumbing through it, I had an aha moment. It's like, wow, this is a fantastic bit of training that these founders could really use. So I had at that moment a real vision for what he could do up in Silicon Valley, but he didn't have a track record yet. So I was helping him to kind of formulate a business plan for himself, and this is part of that. What he's doing now is getting himself, adding value to the communities and building communities and fulfilling his dream. And it's just so much fun, and it's really rewarding for me to have been a small part of that bit at the beginning. I think there's a lot of challenge for people for founders, I think, to really understand where they fit. They have a dream, they have a focus. One thing I noticed up in San Jose when I was working there was that their ego got in the way, I think, to be honest. And that they thought that, well, my idea is the best thing for this, it's the best solution, and I don't need to market, I don't need to sell, it's just going to sell itself. And they didn't come up with a real good plan, and they didn't have a team, and they weren't able to attract any attention. They were just frustrated and spinning their wheels, even though their idea might have been great. So it's taking that core idea and putting the infrastructure around it and a plan in place to actually gather momentum and get a team around you, having a purpose, and building that dream up so that it becomes part of the community. I think that's the magic that Florin brings with his Bright Business Model. I think the critical steps people need to be aware of to obtain success with the Bright Business Model are, number one, to be humble, to think about, how can I learn from this? And what can I take to the community to be a giver and not a taker? And how can my energies be dedicated to adding value? And then how can I pull that together with the right plan to attract the resources and the funding and everything that's needed? But the primary thing is the mindset. It's here. It's building what's inside to be able to give. What would I tell somebody doubting about the program is, have faith that you are valuable, you are a product of God, that you're a person that brings tremendous value to the community, and that it doesn't matter what other people think. What matters is what's in your heart. Bring that out into the world. That's what's going to change the world, your community, and your family, and you.